Rana Basharat Ali Khan urges global unity to combat racial discrimination and honor the International Decade for People of African Descent. Geneva, Switzerland. Rana Basharat Ali Khan, chairman of the International Human Rights Movement IHRM, has issued a profound call to action on the conclusion of the United Nations International Decade for People of African Descent. Highlighting the initiative's goals of justice, recognition, and development, Khan emphasized the urgency of collective global efforts to address systemic racism and the legacies of colonialism that still affect millions. Speaking on behalf of the IHRM, which operates across 60 countries with a network of over 100,000 activists, Khan underscored the organization's commitment to advancing human rights for all, particularly for those impacted by racial discrimination. He noted that while significant strides have been made, the persistent inequalities facing people of African descent worldwide are deeply concerning. We must not only celebrate the resilience and achievements of African descent communities, but also redouble our efforts to dismantle structural barriers and discriminatory practices, said Khan. As part of the decade's accomplishments, several nations have introduced policies to address racial disparities in critical areas, including law enforcement, education, and health care. Khan urged more countries to adopt comprehensive frameworks that guarantee equitable access to opportunities and resources, echoing the UN's recent calls for transformative racial justice agendas that address the legacies of enslavement and colonial injustices. Khan's message aligns with recent UN recommendations, including the need for action plans that include reparatory justice, socioeconomic protections, and national awareness campaigns aimed at confronting racism in all forms. Through the IHRM's efforts, Khan reaffirmed the organization's pledge to support international human rights standards and act as a voice for those marginalized by race-based discrimination. This statement is part of the IHRM's broader mission to promote human rights through global activism, independent from external funding, to ensure accountability in the fight against all forms of inequality.